Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association to us. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Melbourne.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. All glories to
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, this is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Syama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to?
All the devotees. Sorry, you're saying something? Carry on. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji and all the devotees. I'm Sudhakar joining from Saudi Arabia. My humble obeisances to all of you.
Hare Krishna, Sudhakar Krishna Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for all your wonderful services. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. Welcome to the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall we read the introduction, Mataji, before Prabhuji joins, or we will wait for some time?
I don't
Mataji?
think we have an introduction for Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can chant. If any devotee wants to introduce themselves, they can introduce. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram.
I
Hare
think
Krishna.
Sarvesh Kumar might be Prabhuji. We need to check.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Service Kumar Prabhuji, is that Prabhuji? Simhachalam Prabhuji?
Yeah, I think so. It should be.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Mati,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam. All my Dandavat Pranams to all the devotees who are present who have joined today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Simhachalam Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 13th chapter, and the text number 14 to 36. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I'm welcoming you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today, we are so fortunate to have His Grace Simhachalam Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 13th chapter, and text number 14 to 36. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association to us. Whenever ready, please take over the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll start with the prayers. Om Nagyan Trimandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivashadi Gaur Bhaktarvinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Once again, I welcome all the devotees who have assembled today in the Bhakti Sangha group, and I'm very much delighted, honored to be with all of you. I shall start with the section today. I'm supposed to start from 8.13 and to the end of the chapter. This is what I have been assigned to give the class today. So we'll just start up with, this is a very important chapter. In a sense, it's like a junction. So junction, what we do is like we are going on, when we travel by a train, while we are traveling on a train, we get different junction. And junction, the purpose of junction is that it helps us connect to various different routes. Likewise, this 8th chapter, specifically this 13th chapter and the first chapter of 8th canto acts like a junction because it summarizes the different parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Different incidences which happened at different cantos, different places can be connected by these two topics, and this is called Man Avantar. Man Avantar means the time during which the Manu reigns. We'll talk about it. So Parikshit Maharaj heard about a dynasty of Swambhu Manu. Parikshit Maharaj hears about the dynasty of Swambhu Manu in canto number 4, 5 and 6. Now that is why he now asks Sukadev Goswami to describe the dynasty of other Manus and activities of the Lord in various Manavantars. What are Manavantars? I think many of us are knowing it, but no worries if we are going to discuss about what is Manavantar. There are 6 elements in Manavantar. So these are Manu, firstly Manu, those who come. Then is Manu Putras, the sons of Manu. Then there are 7 sages. There are Indra, demigods, and Manavtar avatars. So there are 6 elements. First is Manu, Manu Putras, 7 sages, Indra, demigods, and Manavtar. These are 6 elements which come in every Manavantars. So there are 14 Manavantars in one day of Brahma that we'll discuss. So let us first understand where are we right now and how we need to go forward from whichever place we are right now. dealing with. So 8.1, the canto number 8, the first chapter deals with prayers of Swayambhu Manu. In this, there are description of 4 Manus. There are, as it told, there is one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So right now, the discussion which we got dealt in 8.1 described about Swayambhu Manu and the 4 other Manus. 8.2 to 4 describes our story of Gajendra and the 5th Manu. So this is when described over there. The Samudra Manthan episode happened during 6th Manu, that is Chakshusha Manu. We'll discuss about this. And in the present, we are right now, what current Manu is going, that is called as Vevastu Manu or Shraddha Dev Manu, who is the Manu right now entitled. So this is 7th Manu. And then 18, the chapters number 15 to 23 talks about Vaman Dev in Vevastu Manu. 8.24 talks about Matsyavta. This is the synopsis of the whole canto. What we are going to discuss right now, means we are going to take it from here. Specifically, Sukadev Goswami says Lord Hari. So how this all came about is Swayambhu Manu takes renunciation. After that, the 4 Manamtaras appear. Sukadev Goswami says Lord Hari saved Gajendra from crocodile in 4th Manamantar. 4th Manamantar he saved. That is why this 8.5 it describes about 5th and 6th Manamantars. While describing 6th Manu, Sukadev Goswami is talking about Samudra Manthan. So that is how question comes when Samudra Manthan is been told by, or probably is been spoken to. The Samudra Manthan episode is being asked in the 6th canto, 6th chapter, sorry. That is how Sukadev Goswami then explains, and then explains about duties of Manamtaras and how they are engaged. So this is how we are going to talk about, and then the story further follows. So let's first talk about, we are discussing the synopsis of 8th canto, and we are right now on the 13th chapter where 7th Manu, that is Vevastu Manu, is been described. The Vevastu Manu, the details of Vevastu Manu, what happened during that period is been described to us. So currently we are going to understand that. So what is Manamtar and how the Bhagavatam describes about Manamtar, we are going to discuss. What does, if you see, Bhagavatam describes about 10 topics. Atra sarga visargasta stanam poshana mutaya Manamantar ishanu katha tatha nirodha muktir ashraya. The 12 topics. Atra sarga visarga. Sarga means primary creation. Visarga means secondary creation. Poshana means divine protection, how Lord protects his devotees. Sadhunam hidyam mahim sadhunam hidyam tuham na mannektu na janapi na ham tebhyo managapi. That is what been told by Supreme Lord to Durvasa Muni when Durvasa Muni attacked Amrish. So that is Poshanam, how Lord protects his devotees in different ways. How Ajamil has been protected. So likewise, different cantos, Poshanam is also placed in different cantos. Uti means impetus or inclination, desire to do various activities of the living entities. So that is Uti. Manvanta, that is what we are dealing. That is our main topic today. Manvanta, that is reigns of Manu. So we're going to discuss one by one. What is Manu? How Manu reigns? What are different people who come with Manu and how they rule over the world? So these are Manus because for cosmic management, there are supervisors required. That's how Manus, they supervise the cosmic administration. That is how this is called Manumanta. This is a reigns of different Manus. That is, for example, we know that when a government is appointed, or PM Modi is appointed, then he will have a cabinet. So likewise, Manumantari, each Manumantari have different cabinets. And there are 6 elements of that. We'll discuss that. Then Ishanu Katha. Ishanu Katha talks about glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. What are different glories of Srimad Bhagavatam? That's been talked by Ishanu Katha. Nirodha is cosmic dissolution. Mukti is final liberation. And Ashraya is supreme, shelter of the Supreme Lord, right? How this Atra Sarga Visargasta Stanam Poshanam Udaya, these 10 topics are divided into 12 cantos. Each canto does touch specifically about different. Like canto number 1 emphasizes more on Ishanu Katha, Poshanam and Sthan. Like for example, what is canto 1 describing about? It talks of narration of Krishna's protection. Krishna protected Pandavas, and that narration is given in chapter number 6 onwards, 7. 8 and like that. So there have been described how Lord is so particular that he protects his devotees. That is how it has been Ishanukatha, means talking about how Poshanam, especially Poshanam talking about Poshanam, how Lord protects his devotees. Then it talks about Sthana. As we discussed about Sthana means, Sthan is means universal maintenance. How does Lord does universal maintenance? And then talks about Poshanam, how Lord protects the devotee, and Ishanukatha, glories of the Lord. That's been described in the first canto. Second canto talks about Sarga. Sarga is the primary creation. Sthana, again, Sthana is referring to the maintenance. Sthana is the universal maintenance, how it has been done. And then it talks about the ashray, explicitly taught here in the last chapter specifically, that how Lord gives shelter, how Lord gave shelter to Brahma when he was required, when it was very much required by Lord Brahma. He prayed to Lord, and that's how a shelter was given. So Lord explicitly, very, very clearly Bhagavatam described that Lord is always favorable to his devotees, maybe of any kind. It's not like one has to be pure devotee only. That's been very much emphasized. Canto 3 says, or probably specifically talks about Sarga and Visarga. Sarga is primary creation, Visarga is secondary creation. Primary creation has been talked a little bit in the second canto itself. That is why Visarga has been more emphasized in the third canto. And this particularly two topics, it talks about Sarga and Visarga, primary and secondary creation. So detailed cosmology is also been explained here. Fourth, canto number 4 talks about emphasis, Poshanam, Uti, and Ishanukata. Poshanam is how Lord gives his protection. And then Uti, the maintenance part, basically the how different kind of activities of the people in the material world, Uti. And Ishanukatha is the glories of the Lord. So you see Dhruva, Prithu, and other kings, how desires Uti affect destiny. This has all been given there. And how Lord protects his devotees, that's been given in canto number 4. All right, it may be looking a little monogamous like now, but we'll get into discussion soon. But these are very important things for us to discuss when we understand. Otherwise, it's difficult to understand the terminologies in the chapter. So that's why we let us understand or summarize what we are dealing. So why I'm discussing is that because we are right now in the junction. Like junction is a place where many things are connected. Many places are connected on a junction. Similarly, here also we are at a place or chapter which connects to many different subjects of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is why we are discussing it. And it's important to understand, before we understand Manavantaras, it's very important to understand what we are dealing, what kind of topics we are dealing in Srimad Bhagavatam. The canto number 5 talks about Sthana specifically. Sthana specifically means that universal maintenance. As canto number 5, majority or importantly talks about universal geography, structure of universe, and some dynasty also. That is Rishabdev and Bharat. So that is why two important things is Sthan, universal placement, and Ishanukatha, the glories of the Lord. Because Bharat, Rishabdev is incarnation of Supreme Lord, and he comes from a dynasty of Priyavrat Maharaj. Priyavrat Maharaj was son of Brahmaji. So that's why this now going to sixth canto now, emphasis on Poshanam and Mukti. Poshanam means again how Lord protects his devotee and how liberates his devotee. Liberation principles are given over there. And that's why Azamil becomes a very important character or in this particular canto. Canto number 7, emphasis on Poshanam, Uti, and Ishanukatha, like Prahlad, how Prahlad was protected by Narsimhadev, Poshanam, and then clash of divine and demonic desires. Mostly it's Uti, and then Ishanukatha, glories of the Lord. Again, there are three different things. Now talking about canto number 8. Canto number 8 is specifically given to one topic, and this is called Manvantar. Manvantar means stories of different Manus. Vaman, Gajendra, Kurma. They may be talking about different stories, but it's all leading to one thing, and that is how in different Manvantars, different people reigned and how they control the universe. And then secondly, also is Poshanam, that how Lord different ways protects his devotees. Sorry. So therefore, canto number 9 and then talks about emphasis of Uti Ishanukatha. Then similarly 10 talks about Ashray. Ashray, ultimate topic, how Lord gives shelter to all his devotees. Canto number 11 talks about Nirodha and Mukti. Nirodha Mukti, how one gets liberated through detachment and principles, and also dissolution, how different dissolutions takes place. 4 different kind of dissolution has been explained in 11th canto. And 12th is Nirodh, and again Manvantar. Nirodh means final dissolution or probably dissolution. And also Manvantar talks about different Manus who comes in different periods. So that's how we see this is how everything is connected in with Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam is, and different topics are described in different cantos. Sorry, this is here let's start from here. Here we see that Sanat Kumar is now talking about so let's recite the first verse, and today we are going to discuss about this 8.13.13. This is how from where we need to start from. I think all devotees can recite wherever they are. We'll recite one time and then we'll follow on with the translation. Datve mam yachamanaya vishnave yad yah padatrayam radham indra padam hitva tataha siddhim avapshati. Someone can read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please. Ma'am.
Bali Maharaj gave a gift of 3 pieces of land to Lord Vishnu, and because of this charity, he lost all the 3 worlds. Later, however, when Lord Vishnu is pleased because of Bali's giving everything to him, Bali Maharaj will achieve the perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Importantly, that's how we'll be able to understand that why I discussed all this thing previously. Now here it is said Bali Maharaj gave gift to 3 pieces of land. Here what was happening that Indra had become, Bali had become Indra, or had taken the post of Indra forcibly. He was not supposed to take that. That is why Bali Maharaj was sent to the lower planet, Sutal Loka, and he was been termed to take the position of Bali in the next Manvantar. So this is 7th Manvantar going, and this is the whole episode happened during this 7th Manvantar. So therefore, the Supreme Lord had told Bali Maharaj that he would take post in the next Manvantar. No problem, because he had surrendered everything to Supreme Lord. So that's what the whole, I think the next chapter which we are going to discuss is about Bali Maharaj. But this is the case that Bali Maharaj had forcibly taken the position of demigods. So that is why Lord was not pleased with that, even though he is devotee of the Supreme Lord. That is why he was asked to go to Sutal planet, and it was promised that in the next, because right now Indra during this reign of Manu is Purandar. So Purandar was forced to his position was snatched. So that is why he was promised by the Supreme Lord. Right now you go to Sutal Loka, and in the next reign of Manu, that is the 8th Manavandar, you can take position of Indra. So that is how Bali Maharaj, this is understandable. And let's go to the next verse now. Yo aso bhagavata baddha pitrena shutele puna niveshito adike sargad adhun aste swad rad iva ye aso bhagavata baddha प्रीतेना सूतले पुनः निवेशितो अधिके स्वर्गाद अधुन आस्ते स्वद राद इवा. Someone can read the translation?
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Okay, please go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. With great affection, the personality of Godhead bound Bali and then installed him in the king of Sutala, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets. Maharaja Bali now resides on that planet and is more comfortably situated than Indra.
Yeah, this has been told here, and we know because he surrendered to Supreme Lord provided it, also promised that in the next Manvantar he'll become the Indra. Now we'll discuss after some discussion what is Indra, all the 6 elements we are going to discuss. It will be more clear that time. So that is why we discussed where we are right now. We already discussed this, the prayers to Swambhu Manu from the 7th Manu. Right now we are in the period of 7th Manu, Vyavast Manu or Shraddha Dev, and then future Manus are going to be described in this chapter. That's what we are going to discuss today. So yeah, that's how we discussed it. In this specifically, Sanat Kumar will discuss about it, that how does this Bhagavatam. So in the 3rd where this discussion is coming from. That's why it's told that we are at the position of junction. That means something is much related, or some things are related in the previous cantos also. This chapter is very much related with the previous canto, because in 8th chapter of 3rd canto, Maitreya Vidur Samvad is taking place. The conversation is taking place between Maitreya and Vidur. Maitreya is telling to Vidur the dynasty of kings, because Vidur wants to know various dynasties of the king. Why? Because he was very much interested to know the glories of the Lord, the incarnations of the Lord. Because in different dynasties of the king, Lord has descended. That is why he was very much curious. So that is why in that conversation, Maitreya is telling that let me now start speaking about Bhagavad Puran, which was spoken by the Lord before. Now, question arises that how did Maitreya achieve, or Maitreya receive this knowledge? One time, Sanat Kumaras, the sages, so they directly went to the upper planetary systems where Sankarshan resides. And they are yogis. That is why they just took one dip in the Akash Ganga, and from just one dip, by just taking one dip, they were immediately transported to Sankarshan's planet. And there was where they received this Bhagavad knowledge directly from the mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they transmitted it, or they delineated it to Sankhyan Rishi. Sankhyan Rishi, in that he delineated his knowledge to Parashar Muni and Brihaspati. Parashar fully delineated it to Maitreya, and Maitreya now is delineating it to Vidura. That's how the descending knowledge is coming. The knowledge is not ascending, but knowledge is descending in the Vedic term, or in the Vedic context. So that is why Sankhyan Rishi delivered to Parashar, Parashar to Maitreya and Vidut. That conversation is now happening, told by Suta Goswami to the sages. And then Suta Goswami is explaining about, of course, Suta Goswami is explaining about to sages, in where Sukadev Goswami is narrating to Parikshit, and Sukadev Goswami, when narrating to Parikshit, is talking about this conversation between Maitreya and Vidur, where Maitreya has received this knowledge from Parashar Muni. So he is telling that let me now start going to, or probably let me start speaking about Bhagavad Puran, which was spoken it to by the Lord himself. And then he explained that how the Sanat Kumaras, they accompanied, or they inquired from Sankarshan about the truths of Vasudeva. So this is given in disciplic succession, that Sankhya to Parashar and to Brihaspati, like that. So this is when he was narrating it, he talks about how that Garbhodaksha Vishnu, during how Brahma actually came up, and when Brahma, the Lord, was laying down for thousands of yoga cycles, and then when, of course, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, when talk about how the Supreme Lord descended in this material world. So first, what happens that Sankarsh, in the first expansion of Supreme Lord, is Balram, and from Balram can transform into quadruple expansion. First is Vasudev, then we have Sankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. The first quadruple expansion of Sankarshan again expands into 4 quadruple expansion: Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. From second expansion of Sankarshan expands 3 expansions. First is Karandakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. Karandakshay Vishnu lays on the Karan Sagar, and from him comes millions and millions of universes. And then the first expansion from the Karan, that Karandakshay Vishnu, comes Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who enters into each of the planets, each of the universe, which has come from the ports of Karandakshay Vishnu. That is, as a when Karandakshay Vishnu is sitting on the Karan Sagar, then millions of planets comes from his pores, just like mustard seeds. And then in each of the universe, not planets, but basically it's universe, and in each of the universe enters Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So there, Garbhodakshay Vishnu lies on the water of dissolution for a long, long time. And as Lord glances, then what happens then? As the material world is agitated, a lotus flower blooms from the navel of Garbhadaksha Vishnu. There on the top comes Brahmaji. And then Brahmaji, when he takes birth on the top of the lotus, which sprouts from the navel of Garbhadaksha Vishnu on the top when he's sitting, he's thinking, what is happening? Because great wind is blowing and he's not understanding, he's fathoming where am I, because it's all dark, and therefore he revolves around his head at 4 different directions. He could see nothing, and because he revolves his head around 4 directions, he gets 4 heads. That's how the 4 heads of Brahma come. And Brahma is then contemplating that who am I? Where I'm situated? On the what I'm doing on the top of lotus, where I have sprouted from? All this question Brahmaji has. Immediately what he does, he just goes inside the lotus stem. And for many yuga cycle, lot of time he's trying to search, but then he's thinking, oh, this will never end. So therefore, again, he comes at the top and then he thinks what to do. And then that is the time when he receives voice, tapa, do tapasya. And likewise, it does tapasya. And when he's doing this tapasya, Lord comes. Lord gives him darshan. And there is a time when he's been told that you need to create. You need to do creation. Therefore, he starts his primary creation is done by the Supreme Lord himself. But the secondary creation task is given to Brahma. And there on we come to the topic. This was just a brief. I have just been very fast. I have been just very fast forwarded this whole thing, because understanding that you are already knowing this incidents, that how Brahma comes, Brahma creates, before that how the primary creation takes place, that's given in the 3rd canto and the 2nd canto. So understanding that all of us know that, I have just fast forward this. Importantly, we need to understand that Manamantar, understanding Manamantar, the topic today, it's important to understand that how Manamantars come to this material world. So that is why this was important to narrate. So let's go on. Yeah, this is the head. This is what happens. So let's discuss about Brahmaji now. Because when we discuss about Brahmaji, how he reigns on this world, what is his aspect, then only we'll be able to understand who are Manamantars. As discussed, that when everything happens, when Brahmaji comes, Vidura asks the other question, what did Brahmaji do after Lord left? Lord has given him that direction that, okay, fine, now you create, do the secondary creation, bring people in life, because living entities, in order to fulfill the desires of living entity, Lord has created this world. So that is why Brahmaji has to create the world in a way where the living entity's desires are fulfilled. So Maitreya starts answering this question, because Vidura asked this question in 3rd canto, 10th chapter, that what did Brahma do after Lord left? Lord has given the direction to whom? Lord has given direction to Brahmaji. That, okay, fine enough, now you start creating. So Maitreya says that Brahma meditated for 100 celestial years as instructed by the Lord. And then what happened was, he noticed that the lotus on which he was sitting was started trembling, and wind of devastation started blowing over there. In a way, it looked like everything would be destroyed. But because now the power of tapas, which was attained by Lord Brahma, he could stop that wind. And then Brahma decides to create the universe from that lotus. What he did was, he enters into the lotus, and then he divides that lotus into 3 first. And then after dividing the whole lotus into 3, he does further division, and now the total division becomes 14. That's how we have 3 different, the upper planetary system, the middle planetary systems, and lower planetary systems, and we have 14 in total planets. So that was what Brahmaji did. And then Vidura understood this, and then Vidura asked that, please speak about the characteristics of time. And the second characteristic of time, he says, and then when he's talking about the different features of time, when Maitreya is speaking to Vidura about different features of time, he starts also telling about the secondary creation. So primary creation is done. Then he talks about 10 types of creation. That is 6 types of primary creation is already been explained. What happens in the secondary creation? Primary creation, we know. Creation of Mahatattva, he explains it again. Then creation of false ego, creation of sense objects, creation of karma and jnanendriyas, creation of mind and sense devatas, and creation of ignorance. These things are all set up. So these things are done now. what happens in the secondary creation. So secondary creation, what happens? Brahmaji does 7th creation. 6th creation are the primary creation. Other 4, there are 10 creations. What are the 10 creations? First 6 are primary creation, 3 are secondary creation, and 1 is mixed creation. We discussed about that, what it is all about. What happens? So therefore, the second creation is done by Brahma, and he says that, okay, now hear about it. So characteristics of these species, he talks about that in the 7th creation, that is when he starts doing secondary creation, what he creates 6 kinds of plants. And the characteristics of this plant, this species, were that they take nourishment upwards. We've seen that how they take nourishment upwards. They take the soil minerals and they take it upwards. That is the first thing. They distribute their nourishment upwards and almost unconscious. It's not that, see, this is words of Srimad Bhagavatam, that it is they are not mentioning that they don't have life, but they have very low level of consciousness. So they are almost unconscious and they have feeling of pain when cut. They have feeling of pain when they are cut. It is spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam. That means Srimad Bhagavatam had already told. We just came to know that, okay, these plants have life just 50 years back. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, they have told it much, much back that yes, the plants have life and they do feel pain when we cut them. That is why live plants are not supposed to be cut like that. So they have limited varieties, or they have unlimited varieties. There are many varieties like that. So this was the 7th creation. 8th creation starts creating animals. Animals are, most of the animals, those who were created were animals, those who distribute food horizontally. And what is that? What is that consciousness? They have no concept of future. Like humans, they don't think like that. And they are, the whole thing, the consciousness is just, their whole consciousness is how to acquire the food. Understanding their needs are mostly, their understanding is through smell. That is how they understand things. Most of these dogs, they mostly smell and understand things. That's how they do it. Yeah, Hare Krishna, the question has come. What are secondary creation and all its points? Summarize the consciousness of plants and animals. Okay, we'll have a quick understanding. Okay, let's understand this. Okay, how many of us know about primary creation? All of us know about primary creation? See, I'm assuming it. That's why I'm not explained it much, primary creation. All of us do know about primary creation? Those who are in the group? Because it's the topic of 2nd and the 3rd canto. Yeah, I hope so, you know that. So that's why let's understand, because one question has come regarding primary creation and secondary creation. See, primary creation is done by the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord, he glances. As we had talked about, quadruple expansion of Sankarshan comes 3 expansion. One is Karandakshay Vishnu, then we have Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Shirodakshay Vishnu. Karandakshay Vishnu just sits or probably lies down in the Karan Sagar, and from his bodies comes millions and zillions of planets. Each planet, so not planet, sorry, it's universe. In each universe, and then in each universe enters Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And when Garbhodakshay Vishnu, oh, no problem, we'll just discuss this. So Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he perspires, and from his perspiration, half of the universe is filled, right? Half of the universe gets filled. And then he lies on as he's lying down Ananta, then sprouts the lotus flower. And this lotus flower, when he's there, Brahmaji is born on the top of the lotus flower. And when he's bewildered, that where am I? So this is primary creation, where the different elements, that is the Mahatattva. Mahatattva is nothing but the planet, whole structure. And then comes the ego, and then comes the 3 modes, and further intelligence, everything, senses. This is how the primary creation means ingredients are been given by the Supreme Lord. And then Brahmaji, when he is on the planet, he is just thinking, where am I? So therefore, he does tapas, and from tapas, he gets the power, and Lord gives him darshan and gives him order to create. So this primary creation is 6 times. The 7th creation, when Brahmaji starts creating, means Brahmaji's creation, after giving or taking permission from the Supreme Lord or seeking orders of Supreme Lord, when he starts creating, that's called secondary creation. And the first type of creation of secondary creation is that he first develops the First, he develops plants. Plants by nature, their nourishment, and there are 6 in category. There is kind of plants. The important thing in this, the characteristics of this species, basically, the 6 kinds of plants and herbs are there. They take nourishment upwards and they're unconscious. Unconscious means they, like for example, someone hits us, we feel pain. But if you hit plants, they would not feel that much pain. But when you cut them, they will feel that pain. There are unlimited varieties, but they're almost unconscious. They're not dead, by the way. But again, when you cut them, they do feel pain. So this is the plants. Sorry. Then we have eighth creation. Eighth creation is the animals which distribute food horizontally, and their characteristics are that they have no concept of future because their whole is ahar with nidra bhay methunam cha. Samanyan etat pashubir samanam. If that is the nature, because they are only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's they know how to do. So they have no concept of future, and they are fixed in only obtaining fruit, only just concerned about food. For tiger, it's only about food. For all animals, it's only about food. They don't have, though some animals do behave sensitively, so they are little evolved. And but most of the category of animals, they are only concerned with eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So this is, and then further it is divided by animals with the cloven hooves are there, animals with 5 nails, animals, they are birds, all these categories are animals. 9 creation is creation of humans. Their characteristic is they distribute nutrition upwards. They take nutrition top to bottom. We eat and that goes down. Predominantly in mode of passion. Most of the humans are categorized in mode of passion. Most of the demigods, even Siddh Purusha, they are in goodness. They're dedicated to work and think themselves happy even in distress. Normal human tendency is that they just want to, they are a little they're emotional people, but again, those humans which are not evolved are mode of passion. They want to work and enjoy life like that. Then we have creation of sense devatas, and these devatas including Kumar. So these are 10th creation, but then there are other devatas. 9th creation are sense devatas. Every senses they have devatas. Like for Dig devatas, they are for ears. Then for eyes, we have sun. Like guys, all the senses, they have sense devatas. So their sense devatas are the 9th creation of Brahmaji, including Kumaras and others. They are mixed creation of Brahmaji. They're humans also and they're divine likewise. So this is called as mixed creation. 10th creation is creation of devatas again. So this is how we see there are 10 different kinds of creation of Brahmaji. Important now to understand life duration of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years, but his 100 years, it's not like at 100 years. How? Let's understand this. Now, understand that each yuga, Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. Likewise, double is Dwapar Yuga, the triple is the Treta, 4 times is Satyug, and combining all of them becomes one Mahayuga. One Mahayuga, or we can say Kalpa like that also. So this one Mahayuga is one cycle of Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Satyug. They come to be said to be probably, yeah. And then one Manamdar are nothing but 710 cycles of this. You see, 710 cycles or 71 kalpas are said to be equal to one Manamanda. Are you able to understand this? Please let us understand again. Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Satya Yuga said to be one cycle of, or probably one Divya Yuga, or we can say one Kalpa like that. So here we see Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Satya Yuga becomes one cycle. And they are said to be, or one Mahayuga, you can say, one cycle of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga becomes one Mahayuga. And this is equivalent to 71 cycles like this. More than little 71 cycles, it's 71.2 rather. 71 just been trying to be approximate in calculation. I have not mentioned that. But one Manavandar is equal to 71 Mahayuga cycles. Do you understand now? We are dealing with Manavandars. That's why we are going to discuss. It's important to discuss. That is, one Manavandar is 71 Diva Yuga, approximately. But it is exactly, you see, it comes around 71.2. 71.2 cycles of Mahayuga cycles are said to be one Manavantara. Sorry. Each Manavantara is preceded by the following. So we'll discuss that. This is called Sandhya, which is equal to 4K. Means 4. One day of Brahma is equal to 14 Manavantaras. 14 Manavantaras plus 15 Sandhyas, Sandhya Kalas. Because what happens is that when they will try to understand now. This is, let's go over here. Now you can see this, that their total 100 years, Brahma's life duration is 100 years and 50 years. So this is called as two parts. One is 50 and 50. So one is called parads. This is in time cycle. Okay, let's understand from I'll not involve that right now. So 50 years and 50 years. Currently, we are on the 51st year, and this is first day. One devotee was telling approximately we are in the middle because this is 7th Manavantar. So we are the time period. This is 51st year of Brahmaji, and we are on the first day of Brahmaji. That is our current situation where, or the time, if you really try to have a time scale. So when we have a time scale and want to see what is the current time of Brahma is 51st year and the first day. Now, importantly, we have to understand that the 1,000 cycles of Brahmaji, now I will again come back. So one day of Brahma is what? So one day of Brahma, let's understand this. One day of Brahma is equal to, let's go a little back, as we talked about, one cycle, one Mahayuga cycle is equal to how many? What is the time duration? That is equal to one Satyuga time, one Dwapara Yuga time, one Treta Yuga time, and one Kali Yuga time is equal to one cycle. And this multiplied by 1,000 is equal to one day of Brahma. Did you got this? One cycle into multiplied by 1,000 is equal to one day of Brahma. So in that period, there are 14 Manavataras who appear. Right? 14 Manavataras appear during one day of Brahma. That is one day of Brahma, and in the middle there are 15 Sandhyas. 15 Sandhyas is conjunction period. For example, when one Manavantara completes his period, then there is a gap. There is a gap almost around one Satyuga time period. So one between every Manavataras when changing, as we talked, there are 14 Manavataras, right? There are 14 total. So each Manavataras, when that leaving their reign and next Manavantara is going to take up, then there is a gap period of one when there is no Manavantara ruling that time. So this is said to be Sandhya period. That is change when you say. During the change, yeah, no, dissolution is not there. Right question. Dissolution doesn't take place after the Manavataras. I'll talk about dissolution later on. So this is so present month, you can see all of you, present Mantaras, we are the 7th one right now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see this wallet line. So this wallet line indicates the 7th one. And the red ones are said to be Sandhyas. Sandhyas are equal to one Satyuga. So one Satyuga time is Sandhya period, transitional time. This is how Brahmaji's placement. This is how it has been explained. Now, so what is 71 Diva Yuga cycles? As we talked about, 71 Diva Yuga cycles are 4 yugas in terms of devatas. So yuga is time period between two sandhyas that we talk about. Okay. So 100 cycles, basically Chaturyuga cycles, is said to be one day of Brahma. That is understood. And right now, if we really see that there are 71 cycles of Mahayuga cycles in one Manavantara, so, right? Okay, let's discuss like this first. So this is one day of Brahma, correct? And after one day of Brahma, let's understand one Manavantara. So there are 71 Divayuga cycles. Present is 28th, in which Lord Shri Krishna himself arrives. So this is said to be the 28th one. Specifically, this is, I think this is understood. During the Manavantara, the universe is protected by Manus and Manavantaras. Manavatar avatars. We'll discuss about that, what you mean by that. During each Manavatar of the universe is protected by Manus and the Manavatar avatars. So Manus are the kings basically, and there is also an avatar of Lord who comes and protects this whole universe. And during this time, the three worlds, what happens that mode of ignorance forms. Just a minute. Lord, by accepting a small portion of mode of ignorance through different forms, it also destroys this universe. And this annihilation generally takes place out of three types specifically. One is partial annihilation, when it can happen anytime. One is at the annihilation at the end of the Brahma's day, where the three worlds, the upper planetary system, the world is inundated with the water. But the upper planetary system, specifically Satyaloka and Maharloka, Satyaloka and not Jana, Mahar, Tapa. Yeah, Satyaloka and Tapaloka, they are not inundated with the water. So this is said to be the annihilation which takes place at the end day of Brahma. And other is one is emergency dissolution, which can take place anytime. So that is not fixed. So that's how the dissolution takes place over there. So I think the Manamantara concept is clear and we understand. So in Mandam, what we have discussed till now, let me just quickly repeat. So this is one day of Brahma. This is right now, currently, this is 51st year of Brahmaji presently going on. And in that, we see that there are 14 Manamantaras in each of the Brahma's day. And these 14 Manamtaras consist of 71 Diva Yugas. Diva Yugas means that talk about the Mahayuga cycles. We are on the 28th right now, in which Lord Shri Krishna appears. And then we're discussing about it, that this is called to be one Divya Yuga cycle. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. Kali, the Dwapar is 2 times the Kali, Treta is 3 times Kali, and Satya Yuga is 4 times Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, right? 4 lakh, how many? 4,32,000 years multiplied by 10, that becomes 43,20,000 years. And likewise, if you see the 1,000 Yuga cycles, that is one day of Brahma, multiplied by 1,000 into 30 days into 365 comes out, the total time period of Brahmaji becomes 311 trillions 40 billion years. What compared to our years, but he lives for 311 trillion and 40 billion years. That is the whole lifetime of Brahma. And in his, okay, this is understandable now, right? Okay, let's understand this one now. Yeah, this is understandable now, correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah. We'll discuss about, as we finish, we'll discuss about the question and answers also. One day is equal to 4.32 billion human years. That's what I said. One night is equal to 4.32 billion human years, right? This is understood. 1 hour is equal to 4.32 billion years divided by 12. That is 360 million human years. That is not important right now. 1 minute is equal to 6 million human years. 1 second is equal to 1,000 human years. Can you understand what would be the 1 second of Brahmaji? And 1 year of Brahmaji is 360 days and 360 nights. And if you total take out 1 year of Brahmaji, that comes out to be 311 trillion years of human years. So one life of Brahma is 100 Brahma's years, and 100 Brahma's years is equal to 311 trillion human years. Please jot it down. If you have any problem, we'll discuss at the end of the session. That is, we can discuss about it. Not a problem at all. Yes, there's a question. What is mean by 1,000? The solution is through each Manamdar. Yeah. Okay, we'll discuss about it. 1,000, I did not get it. Actually, you can speak when we end the class. So this is how Brahmaji lives. And in the one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manamdaras. In this chapter specifically, it describes about 14 Manamdaras. This describes about 8.1 describes about the 7 Manamdaras, and this talks about these other 7. In total, we have 14 Manamdaras, right? Okay. So let's discuss a little bit about this, that how Lord comes. Each of the Manamtaras, we have Brahma Rishis also. Okay, I think we can first discuss the previous ones. Let's go to the next verse now. Here we comes. See, 12.7.15. In the 12th canto, 7th chapter, 15th verse describes what? Manamtaras. Manvantaram Manurdeva Manuputra Sureshwara Rishyo Amshavatarasya Hare Satvidham Uchyate. Manvantaram Manurdeva Manuputra Sureshwara Rishyo Amshavatarasya Hare Sat Vidham Uchyate. So Manavantara means, let's understand what is the meaning of Manavantara. Manavantara means reign of Manu. What does reign of Manu means? So during which 6 types of person carry out specific duties. Just like we have Prime Minister, Mr. Modi right now, and then we have his cabinet people. Cabinet people, there will be ministers, there will be security people, there will be people who take care of education, there will be people who will be taking care of finances. Every reign, every ruler have various roles, and he has a cabinet in which he has certain ministers and they play a certain role. Likewise, in the cosmic management also, in Manavantara means reign of Manu. In this reign of Manu, Manavantara means reign of Manu, during which 6 types of person carry out specific duties. For example, ruling Manu. Ruling Manu is the Devatas, the son of Manu. Then Indra, the great sages and the incarnation of Supreme Lord. So previously, Manavataris were defined as Sadharma. So here Manavantara is described. Manavtaras, as we talked about, again, Manavtara Manudeva, Manuputra Sureshwara, Rishu Amshavtarasya Hare Sat Vidham Uchyate. So Manavtara means reign of Manu, in which there are 6 types of persons who carry specific duties. The ruling Manu, then the Devatas. What do Devatas do? Devatas, like Indra and others. No, Indra has a specific portion. Devatas, they fulfill the needs of because they take sacrifices and they accept sacrifices from the humans and they provide them necessities. The sons of Manu, basically, they are the one who takes the progeny further. They are the one who takes up the genealogy, or they are the one who increases the progeny. And then there we have Indra. Indra is specifically, he is the king of the demigods. That's how he manages the demigods. It's specifically, he pours out rain. So great sages and incarnation of Supreme Lord. So previously, as we see that these are the 6 different types of needs of these 6 different people in the cabinet during the Manavantara. The first one is said to be the Manu, and then the Devatas, the son of Manus, Indra, and great sages. And these are incarnations and one is incarnation of Supreme Lord. Incarnation of Supreme Lord engages all of them, whether it is Manu, the Devata, the son of Manu, Indra, and the great sages. He engages them in the activities so that they would be able to do it properly. So here we talk about, let's talk about this one, okay? Okay, so here we talk about Brahma's creation, coming to there. Yeah. And if you look this specifically, like just pointing out, here are the sages. In each Manavantara, right now we talk about each Manavantara, the sages would change. Here we have Pulitsya, Angira, then Vasishtha, then we have Pulaha, Atriya, Bhrigu, Kritu. These are the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here till Bhrigu. There are the Saptarishis. So these sages, the important thing of these sages is they take care of education, or they delineate the spiritual knowledge, and that goes to the mankind. And that is how the people in the world, they can overcome from the cycle of birth and death. Manus specifically, they do not, they are mostly into universal management. So they don't take care of education. They will not interfere with that. They take care of universal management and they would see everything is proper or not. Likewise, the demigods and the Indra, like he would specifically take care of the demigods and see that the rainfall is proper. That's how it managed like that. Yeah. In this particular, we can see that in this particular Reen, we have Atri and others. Of course, we would going to talk about them later on in detail. Right now, we would not like to talk about all the sages, but this is a function of the sages. So let's move on. The other verse. Yeah, this is we discussed about this Manavtaras. Yeah. Coming back now to this, specifically here how it goes. We discussed about this. The primary topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra sarga visargastha sthanam poshanam udya manam tareshanugta tatham nirodasha. I think now we understand why I discussed all this. Like canto wise we know. Specifically, if you look at the 8th canto, it's detail we see that the Manavantar here is talked in detail. Other Manavataras are not talked much specifically, but in 8th canto is talked in detail, and we are in the same chapter where Manavatara, the reigns of Manu, is being discussed. As we are talking about, now here if you look at this one, you see, Lord Brahma, for how he is born from? He is born from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, an expansion of Krishna, as we discussed about. And then what happens first? Swayambhu Manu. He has different, let me first tell you about this one right now. That first he also produces Narada Muni, 4 Kumaras, but they are not much interested in populating, because the main aspect, what is the main thing is the responsibility of Lord Brahma is that he has to populate this world. In order to populate this world, what he has to do is that he needs to, in order to populate the world, he needs progeny. So first thing what he does is that he tries with Kumaras. Kumaras deny. Then Lord Shiva comes out of anger. Lord Shiva takes birth, but then Lord Shiva and his other partial expansions, Rudras, they start creating havoc in the whole world. That is why then Brahmaji said, pause. You go, you take your position at different places. Right now, it's for my time. It's my time is for creating the world. It's not for destruction. So that's why he gives them shelter in 11 different elements, and they reside over there. And then he's thinking, oh, I need to, because understanding creation, Brahmaji thinks that creation is not taking place. Astonishing that though I'm engaged in creation, but population is not rising. So there must be certain obstacle. So like that, he was deliberating, and while he was deliberating, from him, his body comes 2 people, and they are two, means this body comes 2 people, and they are separated now. So this is when they are separated, one takes the male form and he is called as Swayambhu Manu, and other takes the female form who is called as Satarupa. So here specifically talking about that, Satarupa, just a minute. You see this one? Can you see this one? Swayambhu Manu is talking about here. Swayambhu Manu is, and from Swayambhu Manu comes 5 different progenies. One is first is the male form of Swayambhu Manu first becomes the male form was called as Swayambhu Manu, and female was called as Satarupa, and they get married. Now we will thinking that, oh, how they are brothers and sisters, they get married. No, because the purpose initially was to populate the world. And anyways, they are coming, they're amshas of, they are not the biologically which they are just straight away coming from Brahma's body. So from their union comes 5 children. First is Priyavrat Maharaj, Uttanapad, Akuti, Devhuti, and Prasuti. Priyavrat is not very much interested in populating the world. He immediately renounces. That is why this task is given to Uttanapad Maharaj. Uttanapad Maharaj then is married to Suruchi and Sunuti. From him comes Uttama. Uttama dies. But from Dhruva, then progeny starts taking place. And then you can see here the 6th Manu comes, and then following this is how different dynasty starts, or probably starts progeniting. He starts creating different dynasties. So this is how it is coming in likewise. And then when we see that after some time what happens, that Maharaj Uttanapad's dynasty somewhere stops. So that is why Brahmaji goes, though Priyavrat is engaged in doing austerities, Brahmaji personally requests Priyavrat to go and get married so that the dynasty in the world would be continued. Otherwise, dynasty would stop. So that's how Priyavrat comes down from his renunciation mode and gets married. And from him, then then he gets married, and then different dynasty also starts taking, or probably starts occurring from his line. So this is how we see that the different dynasties takes place. And now going further, let's recite this and no. Okay. Now getting from understanding who are Manus and who are, as we talked right now here, just a while. Okay, before discussing this, we understood that there are Manavantaras in reign of Manu. Who are the people? They are ruling Manu. Then we have Devatas, then son of Manu, then we have Indra, and then we have great sages, incarnation of Lord. So Lord incarnation in different ways. Specifically, Lord has 6 different kinds of Amsha avatars. one of the Amsha avatars we see that Lord, the expansion of Lord we have already explained, but specifically we see that Lord expands in this first category. Firstly, he has Leela, comes as Leela avatars, and then comes as Purusha avatars. Karandaksha Vishnu, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and Shirodaksha Vishnu, which we already talked about it. And then we have Guna avatars. Guna avatar is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They are Guna avatars who take care of different modes of passion has been taken care by. Brahmaji mostly is in passion because he does the part of creation, and Shiva takes care of the tamoguna because he has to destroy he is in charge of destruction. And Vishnu is basically his has to maintain everything. That for the maintenance, Vishnu has been given this task. Now, Saktavesha avatars are the people, mostly those who are empowered devotees. So there are avatars and vibhutis. We are not discussing that because that's not our main point to discuss today. And then we have Yuga avatars. Every Yuga, there is a Yuga avatar. Like in Satya Yuga, we have Shukla avatar, then Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. Likewise, so every Yuga has a Yuga avatar. Most importantly, what we need to understand, we have Manavataras. So Manavataras are specifically, as we talked about, there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. And likewise, all of them have a certain role to play. So there are 14 Manus. Here is Swambhu Manu, Sorichisa Panu, Uttam Manu. The third, fourth is Tamasa. Then we have Revat, then Chakshusha Manu. Seventh, then Vyavast Manu. Then Savarni. Then we have Daksha Swarni, Brahma Swarni, Dharma, like that. There are 14 Manus likewise. And that is what we need to discuss. That's what been explained in this chapter. Right? This is okay. This is we have done them. Correct. So this we can see that there are in detail. We can see and these 14 Manamantaras are been also mentioned there. This is how Manamantaras come. Okay. Let's recite this further now. Galvo Diptiman Ramo Drona Putra Kripastatha Rishashinga Pitas Makam Bhagavan Badarayana. Can you please read the translation, someone?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
O King, during the 8th Manvantara, the great personalities Galava, Deeptiman, Prachurma,
Yeah.
Ashwathama,
Kripacharya.
Kapacharya, Anya Chaiga, and our father Vyasdev, the incarnation of Narayana. No?
Yeah, I'm sorry, there is some problem with the font. I could not correct that. So this is talking about 8th Manamtara. Now we are getting into discussion. As we talked about, we understood till now what the Manus, the 6 different elements of Manavantara. The Manu, Manuputras, then we have Indra, we have the Devatas, we have Rishis, and also the last is incarnation of Lord. Incarnation of Lord are the one who engages all other 5 elements in different deities. So as we have understood here, the creation of Brahma. So creation of Brahma, first Brahma creates, and then what happened during this time? The second creation takes place, all these things we have understood. So here, after this, what happens? This is how it's been explained here. Let's understand this one. So as we're talking about here, what happened? Swambhu Manu. Swambhu Manu and his wife Saturupa had 3 daughters, Akuti, Devhuti. So as we understood first that
Prasuti.
yeah, correct, Mataji. So first Manu is Swambhu Manu and his wife Satarupa had 3 daughters, Akuti, Devhuti, Prasuti, and their descendants are the central figures in the whole, got to say that whole genealogy. In the whole genealogy, they are the central figures. So here, the genealogy of daughters, we can see that specifically Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. So Devhuti, we'll try to understand all these things. So Akuti was married to Prajapati Ruchi. So Prajapati Ruchi was married, and with the agreement, their son would return to Manu. That was understood that. So Manu was ready to give Akuti to Prajapati Ruchi, but he said, okay, fine. If the son is born, you have to return it to me. So that's on that context, Akuti was married to Ruchi. So from them, what happened? Yagya was born. And Yagya is incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who became Indra also in that era, because whenever in the post of Indra is empty, then Yagya comes probably Supreme Lord only takes that post. So whosoever is reigning Manu whosoever is the reigning the Amsha that time takes the position of Indra. And then Dakshina was born. So Dakshina is Yagya and Dakshina were married. Now, Dakshina is, you may say that, okay, for these are brothers and sisters, how can they get married? Yeah, because Dakshina was none other than incarnation of the goddess of Lakshmi, who later married to Yagya. So because this is just for a pastime that Lord has to come as incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and Dakshina was daughter, though of the same biological father, but they are none other than the Supreme Lord and Lakshmi themselves. And then after their grandchildren were born, and likewise the progeny started. Then we have Devhuti. So here Devhuti was married to great sage Kardama Muni, and their lineage has been explained. Kardama Muni is the husband, and then from there they have 9 daughters and one son, Kapiladev. Kapiladev doesn't get married, but these 9 daughters, they were married to various sages, Prajapatis, and from there different they were able to populate. Like Kala was married to Marichi, then Anusuya was married to Atri Muni. From them came illustrious 3 sons. There's Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who are partial expansions of. If you see, Soma is partial expansion of Brahma, Dattatreya is partial expansion of Vishnu, and Shiva is partial expansion, or Durvasa is partial expansion of Shiva. That's how they were married. Shraddha got married to Angira, and their children included, of course, the list is huge like that. So this is how the progeny came. Right? So this was their progeny and their genealogy. Her daughter was Prasuti. Prasuti was given in marriage to Daksha. Daksha is another mind-born son of Brahmaji, the husband Daksha, and also known as Daksha Prajapati. They had 16 daughters, and these daughters were married to deity Dharma, and then different deities, Murti, Swaha. The other daughter Swaha was married to Agni, and Swadhyaya was married to Pitris. Likewise, all of them were married, and that's how the progeny came. I think this is clear. So this is all happening during the reign of Swayambhu Manu. This Swayambhu Manu is the first Manu who were incarnated, and these all things are taken place. As already discussed about Uttanapat and Priyavat. Initially, Priyavat did not marry because he went to do austerities. Uttanapat Maharaj got married. From there, at one point, their dynasty came to an end, and that is why Brahmaji had to go and request Priyavrat Maharaj that please you get married now, so that our genealogy keeps on moving forward. So that's how it can talk about. So this is how we can see that this was taking place. Okay, this has all been discussed now. Okay. So Kardama Muni plus Devoti, all these marriages takes place and they are born now. All right. 16 daughters. Correct. This is how we can see this in summary. We can see Swayambhu Manu, Saturupa, Akuti, all these things upon. Most of them are during the Swayambhu Manu time. Okay, now let's recite further. Manamdaram Manurdeva, Manuputra, Sureshwara, Rishuram Shaptarishta, Hare Satvidauchyate. Okay, this is the same thing, right? 8.13.16 now. Ime Shaptarishistatra Bhavishyanti Swayogata Idanim Asate Rajan Sweswa Ashram Mandale. Please read the translation.
O king, during the 8th Manvantara, the great personalities Galava, Deeptiman, Parshuram, Ashwathama, Kripacharya, Rasya Shringa, and our father Vyasdev, the incarnation of Narayan, will be the 7 sages because of their dedication to the Lord. For the present, they are all residing in their respective hermitages.
Yes, I think this is understandable now. 8th Manvantara, we're talking about 6 elements will come. All 6 elements, you can see all 6 elements coming over there. First is the Manus, or the Manuputras, the sons of Manus. Then we have demigods, then we have Indra, then we have Rishis, and incarnation of Supreme Lord. These 6 elements, please remember, it will be easy for everyone to understand. Deva Ghuyat Sarastavyam Sarabhamiti Prabhu Sthanam Pondarad Kritva Bale Dashyati Ishvara. Please read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In the 8th Manvantara, the greatly powerful personality of Godhead Sarvabhauma will take birth. His father will be Deva Guhya and his mother will be Saraswati. He will take the kingdom away from Purandara, Lord Indra, and give it to Bali Maharaj. Thank you,
Mataji. Here. Navamo Daksha Swarnir Manur Varuna Sambhava Bhuta Ketur Dipa Ketur Itya Adyas Tat Suta Nirpa. Please read the translation.
O king, the 9th Manu will be Daksha Savani, who is born of Varuna. Among his sons will be Bhuta Ketu and Deepta Ketu.
Deepta Ketu, yes. Thank you, Prabhu. परामरीचि गर्भाद्या देवो इन्द्रो अद्भुता स्मृता द्वितीमात् प्रमुखास्तत्र भविष्यन्ति ऋष्यास्तथा. Please read the translation.
In this ninth Manvantara, the Pavas and Mavachi Garbhas will be among the demigods. The king of heaven, Indra, will be named Adbhuhota, and Duyutiman will be among the seven sages.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Ayushmato Abhumar अभीष्मतो अभुधारायं ऋष्यभो भगवत्कला भविता येन स्मरद्धाम त्रिलोकिम भोक्ष्यते अद्भुता. Please read the translation.
The sons of Upashloka, known as Brahma Savarni, will be the 10th Manu, son of Upashloka. Bhuri Shena will be among his sons, and the Brahmanas headed by Havisman will be the seven sages.
Thank you, Mataji. हविष्मान शुकृता सत्यो जयो मूर्तिस्तदा दुजा सुवासना वृद्धाय देवा शंभु सुरेश्वरा. Please read the translation.
Avishman, Shukrita, Satya, Jaya, Murti, and others will be the seven sages. The Suvasanas and Viruddhas will be among the demigods, and Shambhu will be their king, Indra.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Let's read the second one. विश्वक्सेनो विशुच्ययन्तु शम्भो साख्यं करिष्यति जाता स्वंशेन भगवान् गृहे विश्वरजो विभु. Please read the translation.
In the home of Vishwasrastha, a plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear from the womb of Vishuchi as the incarnation known as Vishwaksena. He will.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. मनोर्वे धर्मास सावर्णिर एकदाश्मा आत्मवान अनागतस्तत् सुतस्य सत्य धर्मादयो दशा. Please read the translation.
In the 11th Manvantara, the Manu will be Dharma Savarni, who will be extremely learned in spiritual knowledge. From him, there will come 10 sons headed by Satya Dharma.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Vihangamah kamagama nirvana ruchya sura indrasya vidartastesham rishyascharu. Please read the translation. Vihangamas,
The Vihangamas, the Kama.
Yeah.
Kama, others will be the demigods. The king of the demigods, Indra, will be Vaidhrita, and the seven sages will be headed by.
Okay, sages will be headed by Aruna. Thank you, Mataji. Arya Kashya Sutastatra Dharma Setu Riti Smrita Vedhartayam Harir Amshas Trilokim Dhareye Ishyati. Please read the translation.
The son of Aryaka, known as Dharma Setu, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will appear from the womb of Vaidhrita, the wife of Aryaka, and will rule the three worlds.
Thank you, Mataji. Bhavita Rudra Savarni Rajandodashamo Mano Devavan Upadevasya Deva Shrishta Daya Sutaha. Please read the translation.
Can continue. O king, the 12th Manu will be named Rudra Savarni, Devavan, Upadeva, and Deva Shrestha will be among his sons. Hari.
Thank you, Mataji. Rita Dharmo Chatatrendro Devasya Haritadaya Rishyasya Tapo Murtis Tapasve Angi Dharkadaya. Please read the translation.
In this Manvantara, go ahead, Harita Mataji.
Yeah, in this Manvantara, the name of Indra will be Ritudhama, and the demigods will be headed by the Haritas. Among the sages will be Tapomurti, Tapasvi, and Agnidraka.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Swadharmakyo Hareramsha Sadhyaishyati Tanmano Andaram Satya Sahasha Sunritya Suto Vibhu. Yeah, please read the translation.
From the mother named Sunvata and the father named Satyahasa will come Swadharma, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will rule that Manvantara.
Thank you, Prabhuji. स्वधर्माख्यो हरेरंश साध्येष्यति तन्मनो अंतरम सत्यस्य हाशा सुनृत्यः सुतो विभु. Please read the translation.
From the mother named Sunantra and the father named Satyashaha will come Swadama, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will rule that Manvantra.
Thank you, Mataji. त्रयोदशो भाव्यो देवा स्वर्णिरात्मवान् चित्रसेन विचित्राद्य देवा सावर्णि देहजाः. Please read the translation.
From the mother named Sunantra and the father named Satyavasha will come Saudama, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will rule that Manvantra.
देवा सुकर्मा सुतराम समज्ञ इंद्रो दिवस्पति निर्मोक तत्वदर्शाद्य भविष्यन्ते ऋष्यस्तदा. Read the translation.
In the 13th Manvantara, the Sukarmas and Sutramas will be among the demigods. Devaspati will be the king of heaven, and Nirmoksha and Tattvadarsha will be among the 7 sages.
Thank you, Mataji. Deva Sukarma Sutrama Samajjasa Indro Divaspati Nirmoka Tattva Darshadya Bhavishyanti Rishyastada. Please read the translation.
The son of Devahotra, known as Yogeshwara, will appear as a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His mother's name will be Brihati. He will perform activities for the welfare of Devaspati.
Thank you, Mataji. Manurva Indra Savarnis Chaturdashama Eshyati Uru Gambhira Buddhadya Indra Savarni Viryajaha. Please read the translation. The name of Manu, the name of 14th Manu will be Indra Savarni. He will have son like Uru, Gambhira and Buddha. Pavitrashchakshusha deva suchir indro bhavishyati agnirbahu suchi suddho magadhyayadyas tapasvina. So Pavitra's Chakshushas will be among the demigods and Suchi will be Indra, the king of heaven. Agni, Bahu, Suchi, Suddha, Magadha and others of the great austerity will be the 7 sages. Satrayanasya tanyo Bridha Bhanus Tadahari Vitanayam Maharaja Kriyatantum Vitayita. Please read the translation.
O King Parikshit.
Yeah, please continue.
O King Parikshit, in the 14th Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear from the womb of Vitana, and his father name will be Satyayana. This incarnation will be celebrated as Brahdananu, and he will administer spiritual activities.
Thank you, Mataji. Rajam Chaturdashetani Trikaluna Gatani Te Proktanne Ebhirmitah Kalpo Yuga Saharsya Parayaya. Please read the translation.
O King, I have now described to you the 14 Manus appearing in the past, present, and future. The total duration of time ruled by these Manus is 1000 Yuga cycles. This is called a Kalpa or 1 day of Brahma. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, everyone. So this was the recitation. And now let's summarize to the table. Whatever we have discussed till now, so whatever discussion we had, we'll try to summarize it in the summary table. Let's understand this one now. Now, 8.1.3. If you just reflect back few verses, Parikshit questions about Lord's incarnation in dynasties of other Manus. Why dynasties of other Manus? Because 7 Manu was already described few of the Manus were described before in the 3rd canto itself, where Swambhu Manu takes birth. So therein, there was a discussion. Maitreya was telling to Vidur, he explaining about the 1st Manu there. So therefore Parikshit is very inquisitive to know what about the dynasties of other Manus. Why? Because the whole and sole purpose of asking this question was only one, and that was that how did supreme different incarnation of Lord took place in different dynasties. So in order to hear about the Janma and Karma of various Manavataras, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami directly. The Swayambhu Manu's incarnation was described in the verses initially. So in present Kalpa, if you look at this, that in the present Kalpa, 6 Manus have passed starting from Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu had 2 daughters, Akuti, Devhuti, and of course Swayambhu Manu had 3 daughters, of course, and then we saw how the progeny came from there. Specifically, then we start talking about, so here if you see over, there are 6 elements here, and there are Lord activities, in fact, the incarnation of Lord. First Manu, just we'll discuss about the first Manu, this we already discussed previously, understanding the 6 elements. So if you see the first one, the first Manavandar, first Manavandar, what has happened? Manu was Swayambhu Manu. Manu Putra was Uttanapat and Priyavrata. We discussed about it, how they started their progeny. That was the reason I discussed this in detail. Deva, demigods, Yamas and others, it's not described all, but Yamas and all the many demigods are there. Sura Ishwaras, that is Indra, is who's Yagya. Yagya became Indra because there was no one to take the position of Indra. There was Supreme Lord when he comes as Yagya, you can say Lord activities, as Amsha Avatar when he comes as Manu Amsha Avatars. So he takes also the position of Deva in the, or sorry, in the position of Indra over there. Risha's chief, there are 7 Manus or 7, not Manus, sorry, 7 Rishis, starting from Marichi and others that we had discussed in the table itself. Vasishtha, then we have others like that. Amsha avatars are Kapila and Yagya. Amsha avatars, okay, in the Swayambhu Muni period itself, Kapil there had taken birth. He from Devhuti and Kardam Muni. By their union, Kapil Dev decided to come through because Kardam Muni had pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he had taken that boon that he would desire to have him as son. So Kapil Muni took this form. Kapil Muni took birth from the womb of Devahuti, like that, and Yagya was also born. So all these two incarnations came during the reign of Swayambhu Manu. Lord's activity Yagya, this is Yagya and the sons kill the demons, became Indra, of course. So when one time Swayambhu Manu was had left for the forest, there was a demon who attacked. And that time when demon was about to kill Swayambhu Manu, Lord came as Yagya and protected Swayambhu Manu, and that was the time he took reign as Indra also. That's how it has been explained. So likewise, all these 6 elements for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth Manus also. And we see Chakshusha Manu, specifically all this, let's see Chakshusha Manu also, it also becomes a little important because that was the time when Samudra Manthan took place. And specifically Lord came here as tortoise, and then all different avatars, Mohini Murti, other avatars also he took. So, but Lord's activity specifically is in form of all the activities specifically produce nectar from demigods during the milk ocean in tortoise form, Kurma avatar, we basically talk about. So there are different avatars which come during the Munavantara, as said to be this amshas of they're called amsha avatars that time. So there are 6 elements we talk about. These Manu, Manuputras, Devas, Sura, Ishvara, that is Indra, Rishya, Amsha, and Lord's activities. So this is the one. Then we move on to the what we discussed in this chapter. So there are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They also come down. They are all future and we have already, but this in a tabular form we are saying right now. They are mentioned over there. Ruling Manu, Manuputras, then Manamtaras, activities of Lord, Indra, demigod, and 7 sages. These are the 7 different or 6 elements of every Manamantaras. So ruling Manu is Shraddhadev, Manuputras, and similarly the activities of Vaman that time in the 7th right now. Why does he come? He comes to retrieve back the heaven which has been snatched by the demons. So that's one of the activity of Manavantara, what he does as Vamandev. And this is how he does it. That's been given. Purandar is the Indra that time whose position has been usurped by Vaman. Oh, sorry, usurped by Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj is told, okay, fine, you go to Sutal, which is also very opulent, but next avatar, next Indra, you will become. So that's why he is been stationed to become this next Indra. The Bali Maharaj is supposed to become next Indra in the next Banavatar, not this one right now. And likewise, Adbhuta, Sambhu in different. And that's what we have all read through that. So if you see this one specifically, seventh one, the currently which we are in, Kashyap, Atri, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, and Bhardwaj, they're assigned to be the 7 sages who will try to give the knowledge to the future generations. And specifically, demigods, we have seen Indra, all these things are there. Importantly, we can see the 7 sages, those we are familiar with. Kashyap Muni, who is Kashyap, we know, and Atri Muni, Vashishta, like that. We know that. And then comes finally the final last 4, that is 11, 12, 13, and 14, where they describe about other Manus, Manuputras, Manavantaras, activities of Lord, Indra, demigod, sages. That's what we have into. So this was our discussion today. And I don't know till what time we take it. I hope so. I'm not gone beyond the time. So this is how the discussion, this is therein ends the 14th chapter, 13th chapter of 8th canto. This is how it has been. So that's how it has been given so beautifully by Sukadeva Goswami. That's what he presents. The future Manamtaras also and the previous Manamtaras also, and how we bridged the first chapter from the right now, the current 13th chapter. So what we discussed in summary, we discussed about, as we're going from the very beginning, we discussed about first was, I started with explaining the order of the whole, this, just giving the overview of the 8th canto. In 8th canto, we discussed about how first chapter is about the praise of Swambhu Manu, then Gajendra's pastime comes in the 2nd and 4th chapter, which is happening in the 5th Manu, and then 6th Manu is Chakshusha Manu, where Samudra Manthan takes place. 7th Manu is discussing about the discussion of the present Manu, the Vyavast Manu, and then future Manus is described in further chapters. That's what the 8th canto is been done. And then we described about how this Bhagavatam, the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 in number, Etra Sarga Visargasta, Sthanam Poshnamutya, Manamtare Shanukatha, Tatha Nirodhashra. So these are 10 different topics and how they are distributed, that we discussed about it. And then we discussed about lifetime of Brahma. Why we discussed lifetime of Brahma? Because we know there are 14 Manus which comes in one day of Brahma. And what is the time period? There are 71 Diva Yuga cycles, compromises of, or probably the time period of one Manu is 71 Diva Yuga cycles, where they reign the whole world. That's what we discussed about. And then we have the different incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Specifically, the Amsha avatars, one of the Amsha avatars is Manavataras. There are 14 in each day of Brahma. And thereon, we started discussing about the 14 different Manavataras, or 14 rules of Manavataras, and that we discussed through the tabular form in form of shloka. This was our discussion for this chapter. Thank you so much for joining. Specifically, I connected the 3rd chapter where the question of this whole incident or this whole conversation is because of the root question which was asked by Vidur to Maitreya, asking that how does Lord incarnates in different time? And to the answer to this whole thing has been continued in Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much for joining. This was what we discussed. Any questions we can discuss about? Hare Krishna. Yeah, please. I think who has raised hand?
Yes, Janvi Mataji, yes, you can go ahead with
Yeah.
your question.
Janvi Mataji, please tell. You ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It's my great fortune to be in your association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and assembled devotees. Prabhu, I must say, my mind is so blown right now. I feel like, I mean, I like complexity. I definitely have to go through all my notes, but I just wanted to thank you so much for the amazing visuals and for your preparedness and your preparation and all the charts. It's really helpful because it's a lot of information, and I have so many questions floating around my head right now. But I'm just gonna go instinctively.
Yeah.
Could you explain? Because I'm definitely new into this. So many names. Okay, a couple of things that are coming up into my mind at the moment, which is when one is describing it to, because when you're new, you only know about the major expanses of Lord Krishna, right? And in
Yeah.
your presentation, you're using a lot of the language of partial. So can you make a differentiation between expansion and and partial? Because in here, in the line of the news, so clearly, Lord Krishna is also kind of like popping in back and forth. Oh, like on one of them, it says, okay, there's no the Indra position is not occupied. So he incarnated as Yagna. So, right? So, can you make the differentiation between partial and a full expansion of the Lord?
Correct.
And then,
Yes.
second question is when you went through all of the graph of the creation of Brahma, right? So, all of this position basically is it's almost like pretty much organized by the Lord already. In other words, we're already in the second half, like like in the middle of life of Brahma, and
Yeah.
then after long we're all dead. This whole management of the creation is going to go on, and there's already designated people for that. It's almost as if like there's no, it's almost
Yeah.
like in a human
Okay.
mind there's really no free
Ah,
will.
fantastic, Mali. I'm very much grateful, or probably I'm very much appreciate your analysis. I definitely appreciate your analysis and the wit to understand and also to present the question very properly, Mataji. Thank you for that. So let's take the first part of the question. I think the first part of the question is, what do you understand? How do you differentiate the expansion of the Lord and the partial expansion of the Lord? Am I on the right track?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You
Yeah,
got it.
thank you. Let's start with the first one and then take over the second question.
Okay.
Yeah. So first thing is that you can see right now, are you seeing on the screen? So here
Yes,
is Swayam Roop Bhagwan. Let's start from here. Correct, Mataji?
yes, Prabhu, got it.
So we don't have to be very, very simple. Just figuring out, just try to concentrate only on the chart right now. So if you see the Swayam Rupa Bhagavan, first strong expands. You see, first time it is expanding into Balram. Please don't figure it out on the name because it gets a little technical there. So therefore, we'll not try to concentrate on Vaibhav Prakash or Prabha Prakash right now. No, we're not concerned with that. But very simple to understand that Swayam Prakash Krishna or the Swayam Roop Krishna has the first expansion in Golok Vrindavan, right? So these are expansion in the spiritual world. Correct, Mataji?
Okay, got it.
This is understandable. So these are all expansion. Now, what happens is that Lord expands himself in the material world. When he comes to material world, he comes as partial expansions because they are not direct expansion of the Lord. See, there one expansion is where we talk about Krishna expanding himself in the spiritual world. First, like he expands into Balramji, then expansion to Prabha Prakash. These are said to be expansion of Lord. Like for example, when Lord is with the gopis and is doing his Ras Leela, every gopi is with Krishna. They are expansions of the Lord.
Okay,
When
got it.
God expands, so first of the expansion of Krishna is Balram, and Balram expands into four quadruple. That is his Vasudev, then his Sankarshan, then we have Anirudh, and then we see Pradyumna Anirudh. And then this again from their first quadruple expansion, that is Sankarshan, further expansion to other four quadruple expansion. Are you with me, Madhajit, till now?
Yeah, I'm seeing it,
So
Prabhu.
yeah,
Thank you.
correct. So here we have other four. We have first one is again Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. These are four. And from the from Sankarshan comes three expansion. There are Hridakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And through Shirodakshaya Vishnu and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, different expansion of the Lord come, and they are so. You see the Purusha avatars over there. Can you see this one? Purusha
Yes,
avatars.
Prabhu, got it.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. They are all coming from the expansion of the Lord. So therefore, and again, we can discuss if you want to really want to dive into. Please refer Canto number 1, chapter number 3. Point. I mean, there few of the purports Prabhupada given elaborate about partial expansions. But
Okay.
pictorially we can understand. But if by the term itself you can understand Amshena means that partial manifestation. They are not a direct manifestation, but they are coming from indirect form. That means they're coming
Indirect.
from already Lord's expansion. Kala, 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 like that we say. Portion of the Lord. So
Kala,
therefore, it's
kala.
partial expansion. Yes, partial expansion because of that. So that's called as Amshena. But when Krishna descends, he is not called Amshena, he's called direct expansions. So we can, therefore, there are Amshena part of Lord is categorized into six different. All can be are Amshena. So Amshena, there is partial expansion, but they are divided into six different forms. There are Leela avatars, there are Purusha avatars, those who are cosmic managers kind of thing. They get into each universe, and because of that, they take care of all. Then they have Guna avatars who takes care of universal modes. Then Satyavasha avatar are those who take care, who are empowered personalities, and they come for a specific purpose. To, like, for four Kumaras, they are Gyan Shakti, they would disseminate the knowledge. Narada is Bhakti Shakti, he propagates devotional service, likewise. So they are the Saktavesh avatar. They are not Supreme Lord themselves, but they are empowered personalities like that. So they are
Okay.
been, and some of them can be empowered personalities like Parshuram and Prithu. They they come, but they're coming with the specific purpose, likewise. So, like, it is not very complicated in that sense. Important to understand, Shaktavesh avatars are coming for certain purpose. They're empowered living entities, and after they do that work, they leave this planet. Then Manavatar, so Manavatar are specifically descendants of Lord in each age of Manu. Like, as we discussed about, there are 14 Manavatar in one day of Brahma, and that's why I went to little technicality to explain what is one day of Brahma.
Right.
I think that time, yeah. Right? So there one day
Yeah.
of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and in that 14 Manus, I mean to say 14 Manavtaras, and each of Manavtaras, there are six elements. Each Manavtara has six elements. What are they? What is Manu? The sons of the Manu, the Devas. Then we have Rishis, Indra, and then this partial expansion of Lord. So partial expansion of Lord, we have discussed right on the table itself. The partial expansion of Lord takes care of all of them. So that's how this is Manamtara, and there is Yuga Avtaras for Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Each of them are there. So these are said to be Swamsha, partial expansion, because they're not directly, they're expansion of the expansion of the expansions.
Got
Likewise,
it.
right, Manoj? This is the first one. What was the second question? I hope this is clear.
Yeah, I almost forget the second question. My second
Fantastic.
question, I think, pertains to, I
Mm.
guess the gist of it is like the extreme organization of this creation is just fascinating
Mm.
my brain.
Yeah.
So it's almost as we're on the second half of Brahma's life, Brahmaji's life
Yes.
now,
Yes.
but all of it, it just, I guess, it's astounding me how organized this is, because so we're on the second life of Brahmaji,
Right.
and the creation is going on and on and on. So it's almost like predetermined already who's going to be doing who and what.
Yes.
And then I'm just trying to relate it to what's going on in the world, and we have all these like diluted knowledge that is happening in the new age and whatnot. It's
Yeah.
almost like in constant seeking. And I'm just thinking, if they read Srimad Bhagavatam, this is all like prefix of this high organization. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, Prabhu. It's like everything is already fixed, right? Like, uh, I mean,
Yeah.
to some degree, it's fixed. I mean, things could still be changing.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Correct, Manoj. That you're on the right understanding that how the world is going to move forward, that has been already been kind of fixed in a sense that the creators, they have fixed that. Okay, fine. This is how the universal management will be taking place. For example, we know like this right now, if we've gone through all the 14 Manavtaras, we understood that who will be the ruler, how things will be going on. We also understand that Kali Yuga is a very small time, the very small time, which in terms of the cosmological timings, this Kali Yuga is a very small time. So it will just go past, and then so that makes us very insignificant, understanding that, oh, our position is really insignificant in terms of the cosmological timings.
Right.
So this is, yeah, this is the right understanding. It's fixed by the cosmological, and that gives us kind of, see, important to understand this is that whatever Bhagavatam is speaking, Bhagavatam has told, that has been proved by, because there is, when we don't things see the things, it's many times whatever we are not able to see, we're not able to believe. So pratyaksha, the whole world till now, the modern science goes with the theory of pratyaksha. They want proofs, they want to see, they believe in seeing. But Bhagavatam is more about paroksha. It's more about getting more than paroksha. It is more about adhoksha. And to a level where we have to, if you go into the spiritual dimension, we don't actually, of course, and let me not go there right now. Understanding the material cosmology, whatever is given in Bhagavatam, like just now we discussed about, like trees, they have life. And when they have life, people were not believing it for many thousands of years. But recently they discovered, oh, trees have life. Likewise, there are many things which have been given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that was proved recently. That means what? That whatever Bhagavatam is speaking, Bhagavatam has been spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself, or probably it is coming from that there. So that is how we see that it is beyond a sense perception, and whatever has been given will be coming true. So that's we can understand that it is not about it is more of shabda. Shabda means shabda praman. So shabda praman means that whatever is been given, it is given by the higher authority, which has been always be proven right, which is absolute. It does not change. Pratyaksh may change. Pratyaksh people they come out with different experiments and they just change their postulates. But when talk about Shabda, it is absolute. It would not change. It would not change in future. It would not change in present. So whatever has been given by Shabda, the Supreme Lord Himself, is always absolute. So that's why it may be looking very fascinating, but because it has been talked by the Supreme Lord Himself, so those two things are going to become true. So that's why it may look that, oh, how is this being made? But this is how the cosmological arrangement is done by the Supreme Lord in that sense.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. I feel like while you were talking, and you have so much intellect, I feel like right now
No,
I'm
I think
choked.
I just want to have my query. If you have to, because I was assuming, because when I started the class, I assumed that devotees already know the previous cantos, and that's why I started. So don't worry,
No,
Mataji.
I know of it, but you have to understand, Prabhu. Your chart and the thing that you're explaining it's a lot. I mean, I love the complexity of it. It makes me bite more. But as you were talking, I feel like I'm having I'm choking and I'm slightly tearful because this realization of the power of Srimad Bhagavatam and all of the other readings. I mean, you start to kind of feel it in your heart because there's a purification process. But this lecture, it just I'm overwhelmed with the power of of Lord Krishna. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Prabhu.
That is what is Bhagavatam is supposed to do. So that's what Bhagavatam is. So this is how, before we get into the Krishna Lila, therefore we have to understand Srishti Lila. So when we see Srishti Lila, oh my God, who is the owner of this whole world is so powerful. So that's why we are able to they will be able to appreciate Krishna Lila very nicely. There were two parts, Srishti Lila and Krishna Lila. That is why it's very important to go to Srishti Lila, how this world is working, who are the powers behind, because all things are so fascinating that when we go to Krishna Lila, then we will to appreciate the pastimes of the Lord. Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. May
Hare
Radha
Krishna.
Krishna bless you.
Thank you, Mamaji. Thank you. Yes. I
Hare
hope.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Thank you
please.
so much for the
Yeah, Hare
wonderful
Krishna, Prabhuji.
explanation in the class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devotees, anybody else has any other questions to Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandatpanam. Thank you so much for the amazing class. You have explained everything, Prabhu. Prabhuji, if
Thank you.
possible, can I get the PPT, Prabhu, please? So it has like
I'll,
diagrams, flowchart.
I would send you, Prabhuji. I'll send you on the group,
Thank
and
you
I
so much.
will send you Mataji. Probably she can send you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And Prabhuji, in that PPT, there is K, Prabhu, like in Kali Yuga, 4,32,000. Satya, like Dwapar Yuga, 2K. Treta Yuga,
Yeah.
3K. Like that K means?
Yeah. Dwapar Yuga is 2K, and then Treta Yuga is 3K, Satyuga is 4K. That means 10K of the Kali Yuga. That becomes one Mahayuga cycle.
Okay, so K means 10.
K means 10, exactly. K means
Okay.
10. So that is 10K means 10 times the 1K is 4 lakh 32,000 years. That is the time of Kali Yuga. And multiplied by 10 is one Mahayuga cycle, like that.
Okay, Prabhuji,
See,
thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Sindhu Rao Prabhu wants to speak something.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Very, very, very beautiful class. Like
Humble
all the other
obeisance.
devotees, it is overwhelming to understand Krishna's creation and the existence of this world. I have one quick question, Prabhu.
Yeah,
The
please.
Chatura expansion or the quadruple expansion,
Quadruple
right?
expansion, yes.
Yeah, it happens twice. And with the same names they come back.
Yeah.
I think it is different amshas, if I'm correct. It is not the same amsha, or I don't know if it is the same amsha.
Amshas of the amshas, yes, mother. There's called amshan. Amshas
Phala
of
and
the
amsha.
amshas. Phala and amshas, correct. So the amshas of the amshas, and then that is called, and that the portion of the portion of the portion is Karandaksha Vishnu.
Okay. My question, Prabhu, is why there is the same expansion again? It happens twice, right? Is there a significance to that, and is there a different functionality or the feature of the Lord for that?
Yeah. So there, Mataji, what generally we haven't come to know why, but if you see Rupa Goswami in his Laghu Bhagavatamrit, he explains about different expansions of the Lord. But that why category he has, even when he explains, specifically Laghu Bhagavatamrit explains about the different expansions of, I'm talking about all different avatars of the Lord. And specifically when talking about the Amsha avatars, he's not, the Amshas, he's not talked about why, but they exist in the spiritual world. That is definitely there.
Okay.
So one thing is that they have the position and they have the specific city in the spiritual world, especially the functions of Sankarshan. They are situated in this. Their position is also given at what position they are and what is the features. All things are explained, and what they are holding in their hands. All things are given over there. But specifically why it is or why it is different, it is not explained.
I see. So both the quadruple expansions are present in the spiritual world. Is that correct?
Yes.
Both like
Both
the
are
core expansion, both are in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Both are there.
Thank
This
you.
is, if you want the specificity of that, you can refer to Laghu Bhagavatamrit. They would be able to read that in detail. So here written by Rupa Goswami, and it's detailed about all expansions of the Lord.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. As other devotees are saying, it is so overwhelming, and your class was like, it was like a motion picture which came in front of us. Very nice, Prabhu. Very beautiful
Thank
with
you so
your
much, Mataji, for your
presentation.
appreciation. I am encouraged. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I think we'll end over there now. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I would just like to echo the words of all the other devotees. And this was a very visual and a very wonderful session and very clear explanation too. We're very grateful to you. Thank you, dear devotees, for staying with us until 8:10. It's quite late. So we'll like to wind up. Mancha
Kalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam
Vaishnavebhyo namo
Vaishnavebhyo
Devyo
namaha.
namo namaha.
Anantakoti
Koti
Vaishnava
Vaishnava
ki
Vrinda
jai,
ki
Jai.
Granthad
Srimad
Srimad
Bhagavatam
Bhagavatam ki
ki
jai,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai,
jai.
Simhachalam
Simhachalam
Prabhuji
Prabhuji ki
ki
jai.
Jai.
Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhuji, for
Shri
wonderful
Radhe.
class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dear
Hare
Thank you,
devotees,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Very nice.